Hello guys, welcome back to Hey Manager with me Alex, and today we've now got the third edition, which is going to be the Centrebacks for predicting Wonderkids in FM26, where I'll be predicting all the Wonderkids in a numerous amount of positions. So we've got goalkeepers done so far, fullbacks, today centre-backs. I'll be doing probably right mids, left mids, your CDMs, and your centre mids in probably one video, your centre attacking mids, your wingers, and your forwards, should I call it, then your strikers up top. So today we've got centre backs, and it is absolutely boiling here in the UK. It's absolutely boiling. I think about 30 degrees it was yesterday. Today it is, if I just read off here, 25. So not as bad today, but absolutely boiling. So I'm going to help myself to a nice coffee. So pardon me if I do have a sip of this through this video. So let's get into the graphics then, shall we? And let's get into our first Wonderkid that I'm predicting for FM26. It is Nunzio Ngwanda. So Nunzio Ngwanda plays for Anderlecht. He's in the Belgian Pro League. I believe he's played in the Pro League a few times last year, but mainly he featured in the Pro League B. So we don't have that many statistics on him, but we do have a decent amount of, clips, a few good things to watch. You don't really get to see all the attributes, which is a bit better, I think. A bit more of a raw profile. You're not judging a player before you see them. You're judging the player as they come along. Now, he's only 17 years of age. He is turning 18 in December. But for me, Ngwanda, he looks very strong. Traditional centre-back, looks already quite physically fit. He doesn't look as broad and as strong a centre-back as you'd think. But in the modern-day sort of era, you're looking at your right and left wide centre-backs. This guy looks like your man. He's very good at taking the ball forwards, likes to progress, likes to get into the box. That's the big one that I like to see from a few of his highlights, a few of his games for the Pro League B for Anderlecht. I think they're called a RSLA or something like that, the second team. It's basically Anderlecht B, shall we call it. But he looks very, very good. Played 23 games last year. As you can see, about a tackle a game. He's getting in here and there. I think in the air, there's a bit of like more progression to go ahead with that, but in terms of actually progressing the ball forwards and looking like a player that can really play out from the back and looks physically able to, he might even adapt into like a left wing back sort of option, but I don't think he's got that technical ability so far. But in terms of getting on the end of balls, getting into the box, carrying it forwards, he looks very strong, and that's something that in the modern day era football is very, very big. Well, people are very, very big on. Let's put it that way. Oh, I just need to flick on to the next one. There we go. Next up, so Luka Vuskovic. Now, you've probably known about this man. He's been on FM. He's been an FM Wonderkid for years, I think. But he is another key one. I think this guy is going to be fantastic again in FM. If I had to predict, this guy would be right up there. He'd be probably the best centre back in the game in terms of potential ability. That's what I think anyway. Luka Vuskovic, Pro League A, he played in last year. Can't remember who he played for, but they had a really nice badge. 28 matches played, around every game he played pretty much. Tackles wise, only 23, but as you can see here, progressive carries, getting it forward, 37 overall. So that's around 1.5 times a game. He's going to take the ball from the back and bring it forward. I think it's past 8 yards. I think it's 8 to 10 yards is classed as a progressive carry. So actually carrying the ball forwards, making that, you're going into the next third essentially to a degree. He's trying to take that ball forwards, as you can see. Then, in terms of aerial duels percentage, 72%. He's a bit of a monster. He is a bit of a monster. He's like 6'3". He's been playing. He's at Tottenham at the moment actually, but he's been playing solid first team football for around 2 to 3 years, and he's only turned 18 this year, should I say. He's going to be turning 19 next year, so a lot to come from Vuskovic, I believe. I think he's going to be really, really good in the new FM. I think straight from the off, you could probably get him on loan as like a relegation side team. He'd probably just do a shift for you here and there. But in terms of trying to sign him off Tottenham, I think it would be very, very difficult. The only way you'd probably get hold of him is if he wants first team football, in which case, he'd probably want to leave, and that's probably the best way to get him. So in FM, as you can see here, I think if you just look at if you can zoom in on stats there, he is very, very good already. That's his FM24, so I think he's 16 years of age there. 16 years of age. He looks really, really good, like incredibly good, should I say. I think for me, probably the best, probably the best Wonderkid on FM24 for centre-backs in terms of value, I think anyway as well. But for me, yeah, Vuskovic looks really good. Then you go on to the next page. This is my Dortmund save from 10 years in the future. I think it's 2032. I can't read it. I think it's just about there. And yeah, incredible. Physically incredible. I think he's at Is he 6'5" there? I really can't read that. But yeah, really, really good, technically, mentally, and physically. Benfica, absolute stud. So yeah, get him in your saves for the FM26. Next up, Finn Jeltsch. Now, made a few Bundesliga appearances last year, did Finn Jeltsch. Now, he's just turned 18. No, he's just turning 19, should I say, sorry. I've recorded this 13th of July 25, so he's going to turn 19 in this year. So, yeah, I think Finn Jeltsch looks like a solid player. I think in terms of actually looking like, he's a bit more, how would you say it? If you had to describe him, he's a bit more of a destroyer, should I call it, like a stopper. He wants to push out and very aggressive. That's the one, aggressive from the back. So tackling wise, you can see here, 2 tackles a game. Now, dribbler's tackle percentage, considering he played 12 games, 8.7 full 90s, really a high amount of tackles. I know Stuttgart weren't particularly brilliant from the back this year, but they still perform pretty well. But considering 80% of the battles that dribblers have against him, he is tackling 80% of them. So 4 out of 5 times, he's tackling the defender. Now I know the Bundesliga, you could argue, maybe not particularly the greatest league, but that's still very, very good for a league that known for developing talent and becoming like a stepping stone sort of league, but still very, very good. Progressive carries not so high, so he doesn't bring the ball out from the back. Traditional centre back, I think you'll see, he won't be a ball playing centre back on FM26, but he'll still be, a very, very good defensive central defender. I think anyway, your traditional centre back, as we might want to call it. I think, and then aerial duels percentage 60%. Not as good as Vuskovic, but in a harder league with more physical players, I'd say. So I think Finn Jeltsch is going to be fantastic. Again, trying to prime away from Stuttgart, going to be difficult. German, obviously, but let's see how he fares in this FM26. You can see here, doesn't look fantastic in FM26. I think he's 18, I still can't read that from here, but I think not particularly great, stats-wise, but in the future, as you can see here, looks pretty good. Looks a solid player, but I think they may have undervalued him on FM24, FM26. You've seen him in the Bundesliga. People are going to recognise his ability, and they will. I think they'll appreciate him more. Let's put it that way. Next up, Juma Bar. Now, Juma Bar, a bit of a weird one, really. He plays for OG Nice. He went out on loan to, I think it was Valavoid. I think that's how you pronounce it, Valavoid. And then OG Nice brought him back in the January, played him in the Ligue 1. They thought he's playing too well. Let's get him back. And now he's on the radar for Manchester City. A very good player, a really good player. If he doesn't go to Manchester City, again, OG Nice, I don't think it's going to be very difficult to get a hold of him, get him off OG Nice. But for me, you look at the match he's played there, 23, 18.2 90s, around 1.43, around 1.5 tackles per game. Again, very high dribblers tackle percentage there. As you can see, like 66.6% dribblers tackle percentage. That's really high. Again, 2 out of 3 battles, he's winning, which is decent enough. Again, not a very progressive player. Doesn't carry the ball forward, but aerial duels percentage, really high. So overall, if you look at this guy as a defensive, your no-nonsense centre-back type of guy, really good. Absolutely phenomenal. This guy's going to squeeze into anywhere. Absolute physical specimen, can I just say as well. I think he's about 6'4", 6'5". He's absolutely massive. He's really quick. And then in terms of like your aggressiveness in the air, no nonsense, just really, really good. So I think this is going to be your no nonsense centre back. So if you're playing, where you want to just essentially have defenders that don't play out from the back, just punt it forward, try and get it to the wing backs, or try and get it to, the centre mids to play, then they can play football. It depends what type of football you're planning to play. Juma Bar is the guy. He is your guy. Really physical. Could try and play wide centre back, but I don't think his passing range is incredible. Yeah, I think he's just going to be your structural centre back at the back. That's how I see him. Very much like I'd say like your traditional Nemanja Vidic. I think that's the sort of player we're looking at here. So next up, we've then got Marvin Young. He's the last one of the group that I've picked. Plays for Sparta Rotterdam. Really good player, I think, and he's really shone through this year, in my perspective. I know he's just on the border of that 19 years of age, but he will still be 19 when you'll be signing players on FM. 26, that is. Eredivisie last year, he played 26 games, 24.1 90s. Mega amount of tackles. Absolutely mega amount of tackles. Dribbler's tackling percentage as well. 4 out of 5 duels. 3 out of 4 duels he's winning, but 2.82 tackles just goes to show how athletic this guy is. Like, the stamina on him, he's unbelievable. Progressive carries, again, can try and pull it. You know, I don't think Sparta Rotterdam are playing that progressive football, but for a team that probably struggle, taking it from the back, 0.71 is decent enough, but the only thing is his aerial duels percentage is quite low. Now, he's only 5'11", and I think that's why. So he might be more of like your inverted fullback, I want to just say for now. I think he suits going down that left-hand side. He's pretty good like wing-back, as we've seen him. I can't remember, I think it's left-hand side that he is, not right. But he's pretty good going down that left-hand side. To me, I think he's going to be decent enough for you to play as a left-back on more of like a full-back role, or you could have him as more of like a left of a back three in like that progressive carrying the ball forward role, like a support role. So we've got quite a lot of different types of players here. You've got your ball playing centre-backs, you've got your no-nonsense centre-backs, you've got your pretty much your central defenders who are pretty static, pretty standard, and you've got this guy who's like your wide centre-back support. So to me, Marvin Young, keep an eye on him. He's going to be incredibly cheap, really good value. It depends how highly they rate him on FM, but this year looks really, really good. And I could even see him playing as maybe a ball-winning midfielder if you wanted to try and push him into that role. Marvin Young, like as you can see here, the progressive carries aren't that high, so not going to be someone that, you know, is going to be taking the ball forwards for you. Can't really win the balls in the air, so you don't want to play him as centre-back because the aerial duels percentage is low. But tackling-wise, absolute machine. So if you want to place maybe someone in the centre of the back three that pushes into the CDM role, you know, a bit more of a stopper, or if you want to play the CDM role with like a half-back, or potentially, I wouldn't say a half-back, but maybe more of a ball-winning midfielder because he's more athletic, great stamina, no nonsense, just wins the ball, passes it off to the left and right, shuttles it about. Maybe a Carrillo could be great. I think Marvin Young could be your man as well. So there's my 5 centre-backs. Hope you did enjoy this video. I'm going to have a quick sip on my coffee because I'm absolutely boiling. There we go. So yeah, I think that for me is where we're going to leave it, because I think those 5 centre-backs going to be an interesting shout. Could go for your very standard ones like your Hattos, or, you know, other players of that ilk. There, you just look at them and you go, they're going to be centre-backs for the future. I know I've included Vuskovic and he's obvious, but I could have included a few other ones that are very obvious, like the new, I can't remember how to pronounce his name, is it Kursakov, who plays for City, who's a centre-back, who's like 17, 18. I could have gone for players like that you just know about, but I'd rather be a bit more niche and try and find players that, when I do review this in FM26, if it comes out, that's another question, when I review this on FM26, we can see how good the value for money is as well, like how much they're actually going to cost you if you try to sign them. It should be interesting. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. Thank you for all the support. Submanagers273, so please get subscribing. I think I did lose a few in the last few weeks. I've been pretty poor with my uploading schedule, but I'm hoping to try and fix that as soon as possible. It's very hard, a very dynamic sort of, you know, work life, social life, YouTube life, so we'll keep it going. Here's what it is. 273 Submanagers. Thank you guys for watching. If you did, as I say, if you did enjoy it, please leave a like and subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next one. From me, Alex, have a great day. Ciao.